On this week's Tuesday Talk, we're answering a question from a viewer. With all the go, go, go and moving around, are we looking forward to settling into a longer term spot?
I have mixed feelings about that, actually. Yes and no. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I like moving around and seeing new things, but I also like establishing myself in some kind of area where we know the routine, and maybe I could even get a 6-month membership to a gym and I'm there every other day. So there definitely are advantages. I don't know if I necessarily say I'm looking forward to it yet, because we just started out. I still like the idea of really going through the process of traveling and seeing new things. So I guess the short answer for me personally is I don't think I'm looking forward to it, no. But I certainly do appreciate staying in one spot for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it happens to be when those times come.
I would say it depends on what you mean by longer term spot, because we have been moving around a lot. We haven't stayed more than a week for quite a while, and that's a little short for us, and we're learning that. I think 2 weeks is like our ideal if we find a place we like. 2 weeks gives us enough time to have enough exploration days, but also enough chill days that we don't feel like we're going, like you said. So if longer term is 2 weeks, then absolutely I am super looking forward to at some point spending 2 weeks somewhere again. So we'll see if that happens here soon. If you're asking about our going back to Tucson for 5 or 6 months, I also have mixed feelings. I'm looking forward to it in terms of not having to worry about where we're going and planning and knowing where everything is and seeing my friends and just kind of being a little more settled, so that we have, really when you're settled, you actually have a little bit more time, or you can have a little bit more time to do the things you like to do, because you're not constantly going out and seeing things and planning to see the next thing and everything else. But at the same time, I too will be itching to get back on the road and see new things. So I think 6 months might be a bit long. I think we could probably both do with a few months at the end of this, or at least a month, just chilling somewhere and kind of focusing and settling down and getting things organized. But 6 months might be a bit long. We'll see. But we have definitely learned that our travel style is not short-term 1 or 2 night stays. Our travel style is much more 1 to 2 week stays.
At least.
At least.
At least. Then you really get to know the area.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in a city like Bend, for example. That's probably the longest we've stayed in any one place that's outside of seeing the family since we left in April. And there was so much to do there.
Yeah, we could have spent another week there and had no issues, I don't think.
Yeah, but even here, well, we left the Columbia River Gorge just yesterday, and we could have stayed there easily another week or two.
Easily,
because there's so much to do. You saw all those waterfall videos a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
that was all from the Columbia River Gorge, and we were out there every single day doing things.
Yeah,
so it's nice to do that, but take a day in between all those hikes to just rest and relax and get chores done or whatever, and then go out the next day. When you're there longer, you have the luxury of doing that. Yeah. But when you know you're going to be up and out in the end of the week, you tend not to take so many rest days when there's so many things that you want to do.
Yeah. So knowing this might change how we travel next year. Actually, I think it probably will change how we travel next year.
Yeah, in many ways, this is just like a testing period until we go back to Tucson for the winter. Courtney finishes out some work. Then we leave again the following April. And that's like our second try, if you will. And then we'll probably, I mean, a lot of it will be the same, but I'm sure we'll switch things up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to change how we do our route planning. We have another question.
Oh, the AC just kicked on. You could probably hear that.
Do you want to turn that off?
No, I think we're good because it's hot.
We have another question that we'll be answering in a future Tuesday Talk having to do with summertime planning, finding camp spots when it's so busy, which we have had some issues with that. So stay tuned for that Tuesday talk where we can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, one thing we're learning is we spend a little bit more money in the summer because even in the Northwest, it gets hot.
Yes.
So
we just need to...
That's something that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah. But if we want to spend 2 weeks someplace and it's a spot that is very busy, we're just going to have to plan ahead a little bit more and book it. And so that's something that we will have to keep in mind. So in general, I guess our answer is kind of, sort of, maybe, somewhat.
Yeah. And this answer will change. You ask us the same question next year, you'll get a different answer.
Probably.
The following year, you'll get a different answer then. So it all depends on how we're feeling at the time. So it's very like stream of conscious answer, I would say. So this is always going to change. Yes.
So I would guess that our sweet spot of how long we like to stay places is anywhere between 2 weeks and a couple of months. But since we haven't done the couple of months thing besides Tucson, I can't really guarantee that, but that sounds kind of tempting at the moment. So, so we'll see.
Yes, we will.
That's it for this week's Tuesday Talk. If you have a question for us, leave it in the comments below. We'll answer it in a future Tuesday Talk. We're always looking for new ideas. As always, if you aren't already, we'd love it if you subscribe to the channel to follow our journey.
Whether you like this video or not, give us a thumbs up.
And we will see you next time.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
Bye.